Hi, welcome to Visit Snowy Mountains Ski Australasia poll, where we want you to help us determine the best ski resort in Australia and New Zealand. Now we have 8 resorts from Australia and 8 resorts from New Zealand, seeded 1 to 16, and those seedings were determined by the number of skier days in the 2013 winter. But of course, ski resorts are more than just how many days snow they have. There's a lot of things involved: the facilities, the chairlifts, the length of the season, the quality of snow, the vertical, everything, the ski school. So there's a lot to talk about and a lot for you to think about when you determine your favourite ski resort over the next 4 weeks. Because that's what we're doing. It's a week-by-week elimination process. We'll start with the 16, then it goes down to 8, then it goes down to 4, and of course the final week, the top 2, one from New Zealand, one from Australia, and that will determine who wears the crown. Remember, this is only my opinion. Yours will probably be different, and no doubt this will turn on a lot of argument, a lot of discussion over the next 4 weeks. So to start with, well, Perisher and Mount Baw Baw. Perisher, the biggest ski resort in the Southern Hemisphere, acres and acres of terrain, the best terrain parks, of course, in the Southern Hemisphere as well, while Mount Baw Baw, the closest ski resort to Melbourne, a nice family resort and a place where everyone has learned to ski, but overall, you've got to give to Perisher by far the superior resort. So that's how it's going to run through, and you'll think about your own reasons for doing it. Now the next one, Mount Hotham and Falls Creek. Pretty tough. Both resorts nestled in right in the main range there, and they have consistent snow and a lot of it. Of course, Falls Creek's got that beautiful ski and ski out village, while Mount Hotham, a little bit rawer, but definitely has some of the steepest and most interesting and varied terrain in Australia. And a good snowmaking system as well. And I've got lots of friends down there, and I've had plenty of good times, so I'm going to go for Mount Hotham. Now we're in New South Wales, Charlotte's Pass, the highest ski resort in Australia, surrounded by the snowy mountains, the closest resort to Mount Kosciuszko, and absolutely picturesque. You can only get in there by snowcats, so no cars during winter as well. It's up against one of the big ones, Thredbo Ski Resort, renowned for the longest runs in Australia, the biggest snowmaking system in Australia, and of course the most vibrant, beautiful village in Australia. It really turns on, and really it is the complete package. 2 totally different resorts, but for the overall experience of a great ski holiday, you've got to give it to Thredbo. Now, another big difference here, you've got Mount Buller and Mount Selwyn. Mount Selwyn, a small, individually owned resort just outside Adaminaby, and really is a good family resort. It's renowned for its gentle slopes. It's got a good snowmaking system as well, but does miss out on a lot of the snow, and is one of the resorts that has one of the shortest seasons of the year. However, having said that, it is the perfect place for families and offers some of the cheapest skiing and snowboarding in the country, so that is a big plus. Of course, well, Mount Buller, what do you say? It's the home of skiing in Victoria, a big resort only just over 3 hours from Melbourne. It's got really good steep terrain, and when Buller is 100% covered, it is some of the best skiing in Australasia. Unfortunately, the last few years we haven't seen a lot of that happening. Buller's been missing out on the snow, sits out on its own a little bit, so it doesn't get a lot of those big storms. However, when it does, it is really, really good. Their mountain ops department are fantastic, and they can make something out of nothing. So really, I've skied Buller at its best, and you can't go past it. So given all that, I'm going to have to give Buller over Selwyn. All right, time to cross the Tasman Sea and check out the resorts in New Zealand. First up, Cardrona up against Snow Planet. Well, if you haven't heard of Snow Planet, it's actually a fun park, a indoor snow park in Auckland. It's really flat, has a nice little terrain park, great for a bit of fun on the weekend, but it's not a true ski resort, and compared to Cardrona, well, there's no comparison. We're definitely going for Cardrona. Sorry, Snow Planet owners. Now we've got a battle between the North Island and the South Island. Wakapapa up on Mount Ruapehu, equal distance from Auckland and also Wellington, so easy access for lots and lots of New Zealanders and also the overseas crowd. But speaking of overseas, they love the Remarkables down there in Queenstown, part of that beautiful Southern Alps region, and given the variety of terrain and just the beautiful views and the access to all sorts of other activities, I'm going to have to give this one to the Remarkables. Well, now we're heading completely down south. Treble Cone up against Coronet Peak. Some people disparage Coronet Peak due to the heavy snow it can get at times, while Treble Cone, renowned for its incredible terrain, a big favourite for the advanced skiers and boarders, with some nice backcountry as well and those incredible views over the lakes. Given the superiority of the terrain and the variety of terrain and the fact that it just offers that much more on mountain, I'm going to give this one to Treble Cone. Sorry about that, Coronet Peak. Well, the final battle in this first round is between Taroa and Mount Hutt. Of course, Taroa on the North Island, again on Mount Ruapehu with plenty of terrain and a great variety of terrain. Plenty of steeps, it's got nice little rollovers and really is attractive for all levels of skiers and boarders, and plenty of vertical, some of the highest and longest vertical in all of New Zealand. Mount Hutt, of course, famous around the world, but its big problem, while it gets tons and tons of snow, it does cop a lot of weather, and as we've seen regularly over the last few years, it can really cause a few problems, that weather, with strong winds and also poor visibility, leading to that disparaging nickname of Mount Shut. And given that, I'm going to go for the North Island and Taroa. Well, there you go. Round one, in my opinion, is over. We're down to 8 ski resorts. Come back next time and we'll see who makes it through that final 4.